Sisters chatting with each other, getting to know one another, talking about issues that we're all facing, good, bad, indifferent. Let's talk about it from one sister to another. Let's talk about it.
Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. I don't see Cassandra. I don't know why. So y'all gonna have to deal with me tonight. She should be coming in soon. We just want to welcome you to the show on this evening. We pray that everyone is having a wonderful week so far. It's Monday. It's a day that the Lord has made, and we are glad in it. We want to talk about something that most of us don't want to talk about, and that's aging, but we want to age gracefully. So we're going to be talking this evening about aging gracefully. I can't even talk, so you know I can't age gracefully, right?
Hey,
hey, sister friend, what happened?
Get in there with you. I was trying.
Hey, it's one of them nights. See, this is what happens when you start aging. Everything starts going wrong. So that's where we are tonight. So
right. Took me a minute, but we're in here now with you.
From tonight forward. So we want to just welcome you again to the show. Yes. We're so glad to have our sister friend with us. Finally.
Finally, I showed up. I didn't leave you hanging. You know, I'll never leave you hanging. Never.
I know you wouldn't. It's all right. I carried on. So this is Women's History Month. So we want to acknowledge some women. Let's see. We want to start with our mothers. I want to acknowledge my mother, the late mother, Violet June Gibson. She was called June by those who loved her. Phenomenal woman, a strong woman. It's probably the strongest woman I know. She grew up during the Depression. So, you know, if you can imagine that. She worked for GM for 30 years, came out at 55. She was my hero. She was retired longer than she worked and collected a paycheck.
Right.
That's my hero right there. She was the daughter of Ella Elizabeth Jackson, who was had a little Irish in her. She was from Boston. Thank you. So she used to cook for rich folks in Boston. And my father's mother, the late Reverend Lexi Leola Gibson, she lived down south. So I had the best of both worlds. I had great Southern cooking and great Northern cooking. Girl, that's why I'm gaining all this weight right now, because I'm trying to pick up where they left off.
You know, that's an awesome thing for us to be able to celebrate our mothers and celebrate our history. That's what it is. We're celebrating our history, our maternal history, right? And that's one thing when you said about your mom. That's one thing I remember about your mom, strong. I remember just her face, you know, just her stance was strong.
I was scared of her when she was 96.
And I think about my mom and wow. And she's approaching that 80 mark. And I'm like, wow, you know, and I think about what she'd been through as a child and what her mother had been through as a child, and how, you know, doing racism and lynching and things like that was going on then, and how my grandmother, they like packed her mouth with dirt, tried to kill her, you know, because chasing her from school. I mean, all these things we don't really know about unless we sit down and talk. And that's why I love this show too, because it's let's talk about it. And I thank God that I have a strong mother, and a mother that loves, you know, and taught me how to love my husband, you know, how to treat him. And, you know, I just think about all the things that I aspire. I look at her skin sometimes. We're talking about aging gracefully. I look at her skin like, God, please, you know, let me.
Right.
Because tonight I'm not a real makeup person, so to speak. And I know we're going to get into our topic, but I chose not to wear makeup. That was a choice that I made, Because I said, you know what? Because like I said, I don't wear it every day. I just for certain special occasions or whatever here and there.
Girl, I ain't leaving the house without it.
Listen, and that's
look, I'm at that age now.
We have that choice though, right? And it's okay. And we're going to talk more about that when we get our guest on. But I'm just appreciative because my mom was never not as she got older. She wasn't into the makeup thing. Like as younger, she wore makeup. But as she got older, and it's interesting. I feel like I'm doing the same thing. Like younger, I was like into the makeup a little bit. But as I'm getting older, it's like, I can leave it, take it or leave it, whatever.
I think they got more beautiful with age anyway.
Right.
Your mother, my mother, it just,
right.
I hope
so we honor them today, right? We honor, their legacy, what they have taught us, what they have instilled in us. And we thank God for so many women, like you said, Wanda, we could talk about it, we could honor, but why not start with our own, mothers and grandmothers and those that got us to where we are today. So we are grateful. And we just, wow. I'm looking at you. We don't have enough time to say everything we want to say. Right. Yeah. So we want to bring on our guest tonight because, as you know, as Juan, you already said, we're talking about aging gracefully. And that's what we want you to join in. All of our listeners, please take this time now to share, like, comment, put your questions in the chat because we want you to be a part of this conversation on tonight. We don't want you to sit back and listen, but we want to hear your feedback. What are you thinking? How are you aging gracefully? What tips do you have? All those things, we want to hear from you as well. So go ahead now. Don't be shy. Don't be stingy. Go ahead and share the link. Tell somebody, listen, you need to get on and listen to Sister Friend on tonight. And we also want to make sure that we remember, Wanda, our shout out. We want to let everybody know that we may be in your area. So if you want Sister Friend to come to your area and just have a little chat with you live, we can do that because we are on the move. So listen, make sure you let us know so we can be able to post that. All right. Let's get our guest on. How about that? I think I'm ready. I'm so excited to have them, right?
Right.
So we're going to bring on, we have our Mia Daughety on tonight. Let's bring her on, add her into the stream. All right. And we also have Alicia Beach coming in. So we're excited to have her as well. And as she comes in, hello. And then we have Jackie Thomas and Jazmyn Thomas. Hello, ladies. How y'all doing on tonight?
Doing well. Hey.
Awesome. We just want I think, each of you just take about 30 seconds just to say a little bit about yourself, who you are. Listen, at this point, we're not shy about our age. So your age and what, just a little about yourself. So we're going to start with our Jazmyn Thomas. Let's start there and go on up, right?
Hello, everybody. It's so great to be here tonight. I am 30 years old, and I am sitting here with my lovely mother, Jackie Thomas. I'm really excited to talk about aging gracefully and excited to hear about what everyone else has to say.
Awesome. Alicia.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alicia Christine Beach, and excuse me, I'm 35 years old. Just had a birthday at the top of March. Thank y'all. And I'm all about holistic wellness and making sure women live well from the mind, the body to the spirit. So that is what I'm about, and helping women recover and heal their hearts after traumatic experiences. So that's my specialty. Love helping women, and I'm excited about the convo tonight as well.
Yes. Mia.
Hi. Well, first, let me say I'm honored and blessed to be in the presence of such fierce women on tonight. Happy Women's History Month to all of you, because we're making history.
Yes.
Right.
So I'm glad to be here on tonight, and I'm excited about the topic as well. It was very interesting. So I'm honored that you would consider me for this discussion. I'm looking forward to it.
Are we sharing age?
Oh, I'm 48.
Yes.
On that.
This is the real version 4.8.
Yes. Love it. And Jackie Thomas.
Good evening, everybody. I'm blessed to be here with you all as well. I'm retired military and retired teacher, and I am 64.
Woo!
Glory.
Amen.
Listen, we need to just give them all of them applause. Juan, this is awesome. I am loving it. And I love the fact we have a mother-daughter team here today representing. And Jazmyn said, she says she's 30, so that means she could give us that insight. And Alicia too, from the 20s and 30s kind of, right? Because you're coming out of that 20, but into the 30s. And I remember, I'm just going to start off here, I'm just going to say one of my children, we're not going to say who, just one of my children, you know, when they was about to approach 30, it was like, you would thought they were 1 foot in the grave. You know, it was like, oh my God, I'm going to be so old. I'm like, what? I just think that's so interesting that now 30 is like they done turned 70. I'm like,
right.
I mean, so you know, Jazz and Alicia, tell me something about that. Is that the thing now, or is that what we are now? What is that all about?
I wouldn't say that we have 1 foot in the grave, but I think at 30, you definitely it's an awakening, and you realize, oh, I am aging.
I like that, an awakening.
Yeah. At 30, you're coming into like I'm actually an adult now, and I have to get my life together. Start putting things in place in order. So. Yeah, 30 is that age that's like I'm grown.
You know that? Can I say something that's really interesting?
I was going to say the same thing.
Like, at what age was the first time you felt like I'm aging? Because you know, historically, I think 30 was this unspoken age that if you didn't have certain things, especially a husband, by 30, you were starting to be looked at as spinster, or you're over there, you know. And for some reason, I don't know why 30 was that age, but 30, we're barely scratching the surface at 30, you know?
Really?
Wow, that is interesting.
Well, millennials are
getting grown at 18 and ain't have a clue about life.
I still feel like 30 is still on the younger side. I think for me, turning 35 was like my actualization of I am headed into being a more mature woman. As soon as, you know, I fall asleep and wake back up, I'll be 40. So
that fast.
Yeah. So 35, I guess 35 was more of awakening for me versus 30. 30, I was like still playing around with the 27-year-old girls, 28-year-olds. So yeah, 30 is a little bit more mature.
Wow.
Versus 35.
That's interesting.
So let's talk about this for a second. This is good because what that brings up some emotions, right? Because now I'm thinking about when I turned 30 and that kind of, and what I was feeling even at 20, coming out of the teens and going into 30. What emotions comes up for you? And I'm gonna start with Jackie on this one because you know, she could really think about that. Comes up for you when you think about aging, because now here you are 64 and you hear the 20-30 group and 40 group, you know, 50 group even, right? That's what we are, right? on
the backside of it.
Right? So yeah. So what emotions come up for you, Jackie, when you think about aging?
There's a lot of different emotions that come up. But probably the first two that stick out to me, the first one is grateful that I am aging.
Right.
And the second one is probably cautiously.
No falling after 50, right?
Right. Because you know that there are there's a lot of things changing now. Yeah. And you notice it more quickly than you did when you were younger. And they change quicker.
Yeah.
So you have to really be mindful of that, both physically and mentally. So that's why I say cautiously.
Right. Right.
But I'm definitely grateful.
Yeah. Mia, you want to speak to that? What emotions come up for you when you think about aging?
I think there's probably been a mix for me. If I had to land on one word though, it would probably be fearless. Because I think I'm optimistic about aging, and I've accepted it, and I've just decided I'm going to trust the process of it.
Yeah.
So I think it's more of a way of being than an emotion. Like I really am at peace with it. I'm really at peace. And I'm curious to see what all this is, going to be about, because I got, I've never been 50, and the people who are 50 and plus who I've been around and heard talk, it's interesting to see what that is going to be. So I'm curious as well. Stirs up curiosity in me.
It's interesting. Like for me, and Wanda, I think we had this conversation before, like in 38, something just changed for me. It was like, and I remember it so vividly. It was like, that was the age for me. It was like 38. I just had decided that I'm not going to worry about, what it's like to be those other ages, because people were like trying to really they try to put on you their experience or how they feel. And age has never bothered me. I always tell people, look, what you want? You want to go younger? You want to get older? Which one? You got to choose. You can't have both. You can't. Now you can choose how you look, maybe, and how, even some of that you don't get to choose, right? But at the same time, and I love what Alicia said earlier, how we treat ourselves, not just on the outside, but internally, how we treat ourselves, it will show up on the outside. And it will tell on us later on in life. Because I remember my grandmother and my mother too always tells us, I was a cheerleader, and they would tell me, where's your tights? Put those, cover your legs up, keep it. And I'm like, what? I got it going on. Well, I don't put no tights on. I ain't cover these beauties. What? But now, I wish I would have listened.
Right.
Hold on. Because every now and then I'm like, hey, what's going on down there? What's up?
Right.
But also, too, just being able to take care of ourselves. My husband and I had this conversation, and this goes to aging, about having the responsibility as we get older to make sure, especially when you have children, not even those who don't have children, right? Because someone's going to take care of you if you're not able to take care of yourself. My prayer is that I'll be able to take care of myself till I take my last breath at an old age. That's right. But if it just happens differently, we have the responsibility to make sure we take care of our bodies that we've been given, so that it's not a burden on someone else, right? Because a lot of times we don't think about that. We don't think about the fact what we do and how we treat our bodies. Somebody's going to have to deal with that at some point. And so how do we want to, so that's what I think about when I think about that word emotion. I think about that personally. I say, okay, let me make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to do for me first, right? But then also thinking about others. Right. So anybody else want to speak to that? I don't know if Jazz or Alicia, if you want to speak to the whole emotion question, then Wanda, you could take the next question.
I would say for me, I think I have different emotions. I would say that maybe I have almost the complete opposite emotion of Mia, whereas I would say anxious, and that takes the full spectrum of scary. Sometimes I can be scared of what the future holds, but also very excited for the future and what holds as well. I think it covers the entire spectrum. Agreeing with my mom, it's just so many emotions that I feel about aging.
Yeah, the unknown, right? The unknown.
The unknown, yeah.
Alicia?
Yeah, I thought about the word excited. I am excited for life. and growing and maturing and traveling, enjoying how my hair, the color may change. And I'm hoping that I could gain a little bit more weight. I used to be a fit girl, then I lost some weight, and now I'm like, I need some of my weight back. So I know. So, aging brings on, changes with the body and our mind and different tastes and what we like to eat, what we like to read, things like that. So that's the part that gets me excited about the evolution of my womanhood. So not looking at it as a scary thing, but just excited for how I'll grow and, we're children and my nieces and all those things. So just looking forward to it, really.
Nice.
I kind of have to agree with Alicia there. I've never hit an age where I wasn't excited. I can say that, it was like I look forward to the next milestone. 60 will be my next milestone. I'm not rushing it, but I can't wait.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's, like Alicia said, there's so much change that comes with every age that you go through. But at the same time, there's a saying my mother used to have that I understand it now. I couldn't understand it when I was younger when she first said it, but she was like, it's such a blessing to get older, but it's such an inconvenience. And as your body starts changing and going through these different things, you see the inconvenience. Like, I remember I used to run track and I was very athletic. I have osteoarthritis in my hip and my knee. So, the body goes through these things. These things are inconvenient for me. I got this weight gain going up the stairs. I'm winded. What's going on here, Lord? I just be able to run up and down the stairs. So with these changes, you see how the inconvenience of the body getting older is, but the life itself is I'm excited. So the next question I have for you is what does it mean what does gracefully mean? And is it different for everybody? So when you think about growing or aging gracefully, what does that mean to you? Let's start with Mia.
Well, I think embedded in that word is a big chunk of it. Having the grace of God. But I'll probably say this word quite a bit around this topic is accepting. So I think aging gracefully for me means acknowledging it, accepting it, and also embracing it. Not looking at it as something happened to me. I'm supposed to, go through this. But as we go through it, like I heard Alicia say, life shouldn't stop. If you all watched the Oscars last night, and the young lady who won for Best Actress, she said to women, don't let anybody ever tell you that you're past your prime. And that's so right. Aging gracefully for me is also living to get as much as you can out of life and not just letting life take everything out of you.
Right.
That's wonderful.
Good. That's good. That's good.
That's real good.
Say that again, Mia. Please say that again.
Do not. Yeah, but really, just living and getting out of life, get everything you can out of life. Don't let life take everything out of you, and that's especially true for women, because when you add to the top of this to say, a little bit about who you are, I purposely kind of, detoured around that, because what are you?
Yeah,
we're everything to so many people, and then before you know it, we're spent. So
that is true.
We're not going to be bystanders in our own life as we age. We're going to be full participators in this.
Right.
Got that right.
Wow.
I'm leading the crowd.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I like the way that Mia put it, because I can remember probably when I was just approaching 50. I was probably thinking, I'm not going to age gracefully. I'm going to fight it. But I have learned to embrace it, and I really do accept it. I'm happy with where I'm at. Yeah. So I just try to live my best life where I'm at, and for me, so it's just acceptance also. No longer fighting.
Alicia.
Yeah, I hop in and say on the back end of that question around Does it look different for everybody? I do believe aging gracefully is different. Now, it may mean different things to people, but let's just be honest. You can tell when someone is not living a well life, and it ages them quicker, whether it be from their skin to now they have heart disease or stress and different things like that. And so I think in the process of growing, of maturing, aging, we have to be honest with ourselves about what we need to fuel ourselves with. And that's not just food, but that's the spirit. Spirit. What we watching, what we listening to. Our friend circles change. We start to come into understanding that this is my crew, that ain't my crew, but I love them from afar. Those kind of relationships, right? And that all impacts how we age and is grace upon our lives. So I think that's something for women to remember. Like, what's like our life routines? Are they supporting us to walk gracefully through the ages?
That's good.
That's a mouthful right there.
Yeah.
Jazmyn.
I agree with the rest of the ladies. I think that I'm still learning as a woman to be more accepting of myself. But to me, aging gracefully looks like growth and learning from the past and being able to continue learning and grow spiritually and mentally and physically. And I also agree with Alicia that I do think that aging gracefully looks different to everyone. Depends on what you think gracefully means to you.
Definitely.
I was just thinking about Wanda, about my daughter who's actually working tonight, and she says, "I'm listening to the replays. I'm mad, so I can't hear you and Wanda talking tonight."
That's my girl.
This is a topic she would have loved to been a part of, but I think about how she is really trying to do better for herself, her skin. She's always been good with that kind of stuff, like getting natural products and just that kind of stuff. It really inspired me, because I'm just grateful that she is not into and it's okay for those who are, but I'm grateful because as a child, that was not her story.
Right.
So it was different because of how the school system she was in, the people that was around her, the community that we were in at that time. It kind of pulled on that part of her that wanted to reach out and be like. Whereas now she's herself, her authentic self, if you want to say it that way, and actually just embrace who she is and the beauty that God has given her. So I'm grateful for that as well. So when I see Alicia and Jazz, sitting here with us now, I'm grateful because they're both beautiful women, and I can tell that they love themselves, and it's not just about what I can, how I can look at somebody else. And because a lot of times as women, the thing has been, how can I compare myself to someone else? And it's not about comparing each other, because we're all beautiful within our own right. And we have to learn how to, encourage one another to embrace that. As Mia said, embrace it. The beauty, because we are beautiful women. Wow.
Every step of the way.
Yeah. So let's talk about influences. So who influenced how you care for yourself, ladies? Like, who is that? Maybe one or two people, could be more than one, but have influenced you on how you decide to take care of you. Who is that one person? And what lessons have you learned also about aging? I'm going to group those together if we can. Those are two powerful questions. I love those questions.
Very.
So who wants to start? I'm not going to pick a name. So who just feels they was going to jump out and just answer that question? Who influenced you, and what lessons have you learned about aging?
They look like they thinking hard. Let me help y'all out. My granddaughters influenced me on how I care about myself, and not that they've given me any instructions, but I want to be around for them. Yeah. I want to see them get married. I want to see my great grandbabies. So that's part of the reason I've changed some of the things that I do and how I do it, because I want to live longer. I want to take better care of myself. And one of the lessons I've learned in in aging is I should have listened to my mother. All the things she was saying about you remember she said, all right, you're gonna be my age one day. Okay, you ain't gonna be able to eat all that bread when you're 40. All those things, I hear in the back of my head all the time, especially when I look in the mirror. I go, yeah, that was too much bread right there. Yeah, that's too much. I should have listened, because if I had listened then, I would have taken better care of myself, not realizing that they were giving us instructions to help us live longer and to live better lives.
Right.
So
that's good, Wanda.
Yeah, I looked at that question that way as well. Like, and who inspires me now would be my family. Like, I want to be here for them, and I'm a grandmother as well, and so it's like, you want to be here for them as well. But I also looked at as far as influence, because I've learned people can teach you what to do, and they can also teach you what not to do.
Yeah,
and I think one of my biggest
you say that right.
I would have to say, and this is not by any means taking a dig at my mother or my grandmother, but they both had diabetes. They both had high blood pressure, and so did my father. My father passed of colon cancer. Some things we know is hereditary. It's not that you did anything wrong to get it. Both my mother and my maternal grandmother, at the end of their life, they had end-stage renal disease. And I will tell you, when my mother, who passed at the age of 60, because of that, and also she got COVID, so it caused that complications with that. When I saw her going through dialysis, that for me, as far as my health goes, was the loudest wake-up call I've ever seen. Because to see that, because she was on dialysis for at least a decade before she passed away. And now here I am approaching the decade where she started, and I can't imagine that being my quality of life, that I've got to take time out of my life to sit for hours. And I feel horrible because of the quality of life that's robbed behind loss of health. And so that did impact. I made a huge life-changing decision about my own health because of that. And now I don't want to, to the best of my ability, I want to make decisions that keep me here for as long as possible to build better memories, and long memories with my children and grandchildren.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. That's
Thank
awesome.
you for sharing that. Yeah. So similarly, I would say my family greatly influences how I care for myself, and my grandmother as well. She was a homemaker, Mother Rouse, and she would just teach us how to be classy women and how to sew on a button, how to close your blouse so you don't see the safety pin on in the front. Just showing us how to care for ourselves in that way, and cooking as well. Also,
she cook.
Yes, Lord. My father, he also had diabetes and various issues with the liver, and then I popped up with an autoimmune condition. And so those things influence me taking control of my health and turning things around, and basically becoming vegan and juicing and eating a lot of greenery because I want to live long. I decided that none of this was unto death. So I'm going to live a high quality of life by giving myself what is scientifically proven to increase our lifespan. And that is and veggies, and that's sun, nature, positive relationships, traveling, things like that. And so, me having a health crisis really was a major influence on like, oh, okay, let me shift my life and change generations after me and change my DNA so that my children will be healthy and well and live long and continue on a legacy.
That's good. That's good.
I think I got get kind of influenced by everything everybody said. my mother certainly did influence me, not so much in the way she ate, but in the way she lived her life in her end years. She was, to me, she was always stress free. She didn't let things bother her. And I think that that was very important. She had a very healthy attitude and outlook about everything. Um, Certainly, my own health concerns changes some things, but probably in the last 5 or so years, my daughter actually influences me. I watch how she takes care of herself. And she's always trying to give me tips. So she has some things she can share with me that I can learn from.
Right.
But she eats very healthy, where I kind of wanted to follow in my mom and grandmother's footsteps. So I cut back. Like, I want to be here too.
Yeah.
So she did influence me. So.
And I would say vice versa. My mother influenced me as far as when it comes to taking care of myself. I grew up in a household where there were a bunch of men. I have 3 brothers, and it was just me and her. We were the only girls. And so she taught me a lot about how to grow up as a lady and as a woman. But I would also say my surroundings helped me as well. There were certain people in my surroundings and in my environment that showed me what not to do. And so I would learn from them on how to take care of myself better. And I feel as though if there was something that I didn't get from my surroundings immediately, I would look elsewhere, such as people that I admire, that I've seen take care of themselves outside of my environment, and watch them.
Wow. That was good. That was good.
Yeah.
Oof. You know, when I think about that question, and I think I kind of answered it already, I've definitely been influenced by my daughter as well. And by, I look at others and I think about you that are here in front of me now that I'm looking at. I've been influenced in different ways, some mentally, some physically, some emotionally. Because one thing about it, and as Wanda and I always say, you always need somebody. That's why we have sister friends. You know, we have people we can like count on, people who will hold us accountable. And we can't be afraid of that. We can't be afraid of being held accountable, because it's for our good. It's not to be in our business. It's not to put somebody down and make them feel bad, but it's all about lifting another sister up. In our episode, we talked about mental health, mental wellness. That was something they talked about. Not being afraid to say, are you okay? Are you thinking about committing suicide? Actually saying the words.
Right.
That was the fear. Like, do I say it? Or if I say it, does that mean they're going to do it? No. You have to, like almost pull the rug from underneath them and say, listen, I know what you're thinking. And even if I don't, I'm going to act like I do, because I'm going to ask you the question.
That's right.
And the same thing here. Sometimes people, when they're going through aging, and they get depressed, they see hair. And I was in a conversation with a woman, and it was mind-blowing, because she was freaking out because she had grays, and she saw that she thought her stylist did not get all the grays out of her hair. She said, I went to the hairdresser. I told her I want to dye my hair. I should not see any grays. She was going, oh my gosh, she was going crazy. And I just told her, calm down, because you really couldn't see it unless you were outside in the light. And I said, we don't even see the gray. And she said, but you don't understand. Then she said it. And this is what we have to be very careful of. She said, I need to make sure that I present myself like I got it all together.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the issue came. And that's where I said, oh, so that's what it is. So I looked at her, because I looked right at her, and I said, do I not have it all together? Did I not just pull this off what we just did? She said, oh, I didn't mean it that way. I said, that's what you just said. That was for you. That wasn't for me.
Right.
I got it together. I'm just saying. So she thought about it. She backed off. And I said, this is, as women, we have to not allow people to dictate to us how we look, how we move, how all these things in the spaces that we are in, because it will definitely affect us. Alicia,
it's like social media.
Right.
Well, it just was making me think about how some people equate what they look like or people's perceptions with their personal worth and value.
Yes.
And
That's it right there.
You have to be careful about, right?
Have to be
Because
careful.
I'm valuable no matter what age, what job, disabled, able, whatever. I have intrinsic worth and value. And that's something we have to remind ourselves and do our own work around. You know, people's affirmations are beautiful, but that doesn't have to come from God.
Right. And I think it's something that one of you said, I think it might have been Jazz, about loving yourself. If you don't love yourself, then you will take your clues or your cues from the outside influences. And, you know, social media is one of those big things where you have a lot of, especially the generation after the millennials. What's that? The Y, the I, one of them, whoever they are. Y'all know them.
I lost track.
It's about how many likes they get and who likes their pictures and all of that. Look, I said earlier about I love each new milestone. So I'm about to be 60 in 3 years. Right? But I don't care what people look. I'm a bald-headed woman preacher. You can't go older than that, right?
Come on.
I could care less what people think about me at this point. If you're not paying any bills in this house, you don't sit up on the throne up above, you don't matter. You know what I'm saying? But like Cassandra was saying, I thank God for my sister friends. You know, I tell my friends all the time, don't let me leave the house looking crazy though.
Right. Please tell me.
If you see something out of place, please say something. Don't wait till we get somewhere and be like, oh.
Right. And don't wait after the show, because I'm going to say, pause. Wait.
If the wig is twisted or something, tell me before I leave the house.
Right.
So what is this thing? How social media guided how you feel about aging, or has it?
It hasn't affected me.
It hasn't affected me either. You know, with any type of media, I immediately employ critical thinking. Like, you can't take anything at face value. You gotta
personal. Don't take it personal.
Right. So it hasn't really had.
That's true.
I cringe more at how it impacts a lot of our younger people and how their esteem is attached to all of these new things. That's what, you know, is concerning, which is why I tell you, I'm so grateful to see the mix here. And we need to keep our finger on the pulse with our young people and keep that gap, you know, as small as possible when it comes to connecting with them. You know, when I see young ladies like Jazz and Alicia on, you know, they're younger than us. I don't look at anybody younger than me and despise their age as though I can't learn something, you know, from them.
They got a whole lot to teach us.
They have a lot that they can teach us.
Yes.
And so grateful.
Amen.
That's for sure.
So do you feel comfortable in your aging? Do you feel comfortable with the body that you have, with the mind you have, the hair you have, or the no hair, whatever the case may be? Are you comfortable where you are with aging?
I am. Okay with it. And I think everybody pretty much answered that. Jazz, you were going to say something though.
I would say I'm comfortable in certain aspects of aging, but still working on getting comfortable in other aspects. I would say right now where I am mentally, I'm comfortable with the way that I'm aging mentally. I feel like I'm growing and learning and constantly doing things to better myself. Physically is something I'm still working on getting comfortable with. I'm like the complete opposite of Alicia, where I've been small all my life, petite. And when 30 hit, it was just like, here comes
bam.
And I'm still getting used to that myself because it's not something that I've been used to. You know, I've been small and petite all my life. So I think I'm still working on certain aspects, trying to get comfortable. But for the most part, I am comfortable.
Awesome. I tell you, we have getting comments from the audience too. Hey, mom's on.
Hey, mom.
She said always room for improvement. Yes, I know that's right. Awesome. Well, we're down to our final question, and I know we went a little bit. We was determined to get all these questions in. So is there anything, ladies, anything that you would do differently if you knew then what you know now?
Eating habits.
Yeah.
My eating habits, definitely.
Eating habits.
Yeah, like Jackie said, you know, my mother, look, we had the best of both worlds. We had the Southern cooker, we had the Northern cooker, and my mother cooked it all. So, you know, we still like to eat. I had to cook dinner for them to get here. So, you know.
I love it.
But the eating habits, definitely, I would have changed my eating habits a lot earlier than I have.
Okay.
I would agree with that. I would definitely have started eating healthier much sooner. Sooner.
I would say slow down. Just not being so busy, filling up my calendar with so many things, but really taking time to let my life breathe a bit and discover and just rest and read a book, something like that.
Yeah. I feel that.
I would say ditto to everything you all said, the eating, the pacing ourselves. But now one of the things I would definitely change is more from a relational standpoint, having gone through and been 40 and now going to 50. When I was in my 20s, I didn't understand that. And so if I could go back, I would probably have different conversations with my own mother and grandmother and understand a little bit more, like especially my grandmother when she was upset and yelling. For all I know, she could have been going through something biological or that I couldn't relate to. But now going through it, it just makes more sense.
Yeah.
So I use that now in my relationship and communication with my own daughter to give her some insight to where she has still yet to go.
Right.
That's real. That's real. Because you think like, oh, why the old folks yelling and hollering and why they upset?
Watch that old stuff, little girl.
Like my daughter who's in her 20s, she'll say, "Oh, this sounds like it's really." I don't want to say the word, but it's like it stinks. I won't say the other word, but it must be, horrible, And I'm like, well, it'll be whatever you make it. But I do know that at the top of the call, I'm excited because I really feel like I think the older version of me, I'm a real good elderly lady. I just a real good elderly lady. I can't wait.
I can't wait either.
I'm looking forward to my discounts, I'm looking forward to those perks. I really am.
Look, don't say AARP. I was like, what you say?
But you got that AARP.
Yeah, I'm milking it.
Oh my gosh. This has been awesome. This has been wonderful. But before we go, we just want to if there's anything that you want to share, maybe something you're doing, a special project, or if you have a website or whatever, if you want to just take 30 seconds just to share what you may be doing, or if you just want a last word you want to say. Jazmyn?
I want to say that this has been really very, very wonderful, very insightful. I thought I really appreciate all you ladies for coming and sharing your different opinions, and I really enjoyed myself. So I'm just happy that I was able to be a part of this.
Thank you. Alicia?
Yeah, same here. Just really grateful to always be around wisdom and vibrant women that love life. So I'm really grateful for that. And if anybody wants to connect with me, I am actually having a class at the end of the month called The Well-Rested Woman.
Nice.
We are learning methods for how to relax, and meditation has really transformed my life when it comes to pain management and getting stressed out my life. And I'll be teaching on different tools to help us calm our nervous system and get to healing. So if anybody's interested in that, they can find it on my website. It is www.itsAliciaChristine.com.
Alicia, make sure you send us that information so we can post it on our Facebook page.
For sure.
Nice.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Mia.
This has been awesome. I feel really sharpened by this. I appreciate what you ladies are doing and being brave to have real conversations. And to just do it so out loud. So I will say this. I'm glad for the connection. I hope that we can keep the conversation going beyond, this session, in some way. So thank you.
Yeah. Oh, you absolutely.
Now, Mia, don't you have a Saturday morning?
We have a whole ministry out of Egypt, outreach ministries. Yeah. And part of what we do, one of the things the ministry does for about a year now, we started doing a short weekend walk in the Word. So we have a live Facebook broadcast. That's every Saturday at 10:30 a.m. So if you go on Facebook and look for Out of Egypt Outreach Ministries, you'll see the blue butterfly. That's us. You're welcome to join us. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Jackie.
Just grateful for the opportunity to be here and share with the ladies. So glad to be informed with all that you shared. I found it enlightening as well. So thank you.
And you look fabulous at 64, girl. You better rock it.
Lord.
You all look fabulous. Thank you so much for joining us. We are really appreciative of you for sharing and teaching us. So we thank you again. And we would love to be able to, hope you continue to connect with us and join us another time again.
Right. I just want to mention, even though Jazz didn't mention it, she does. She's a travel agent. So if you're looking to book your vacation, get that deal.
All right.
You have a website.
Call her up.
Make sure you send us your website, Jazz.
Okay, I'll put it in the chat for you.
Awesome.
We are definitely grateful for all of you ladies joining us. We had a wonderful time. As you can see, we like to laugh, we have fun, but we want to keep it real. So we appreciate you being honest and giving us your insights. And we implore our audience and all of you, as Mia said, she was still in our line, but we thank God that we don't want the conversation to end just with this live taping. We want you to put comments in the chat. You can continue to chat the whole month long with each other in our website, on our Facebook page. So if you have some more comments that you want to say, please put them in there, or even on our YouTube page. You can go ahead and have those conversations. Keep it going, because this is information that we all need, and it helps all of us grow. So until next time, Sister Friend, can we talk?
Girl, let's talk about it. Good night, everybody.
One another, talking about issues that we're all facing, good, bad, indifferent. Let's talk about it from one sister to another. Let's talk about it.